would you say to families of some of the individuals deported who say that they do not have affiliations to gangs, to TDA? Are you going to provide more details about?
Look, I'm not aware. I didn't drill into every one of that on that plane. We left it up to ICE. The highest officials at ICE have said that they are confident that every one of the men's and women's on those planes are a member of TDA. And everybody's, how do you know? Look, a lot of this stuff is law enforcement sensitive. I'm not going to share a lot of this stuff with you because we certainly don't want to show how we do our inside work, because that's going to just help the criminals out there once they read it. But I can tell you hundreds and hundreds of hours were spent on investigations, whether it's looking at their criminal history, whether it's looking at immigration history, whether looking at undercover videos, whether it's talking to informants, whether it's talking to other members of the gang who gave sworn statements. There's a lot of ways that this was done. A lot of time was spent doing this. Again, and I got assurances from the highest levels of ICE that this was done right, and everybody in that plane, men's and women's, were TDAs. And I got to remember, first of all, let's remember one thing. First of all, everyone on that plane was an illegal alien in the country illegally. Number two, many in that plane were removed with Title VIII. They already had to remove it from an immigration judge. And again, we're talking about terrorists. TDA and MS-13 was on the plane. They've been designated terrorist organizations. These are not good people. So I trust the men and women at ICE that they did the right thing, and I stand by it.
How much focus right now is the administration putting on those who have committed crimes versus those who have not committed crimes, who are immigrants in the country?
I didn't hear that question.
How much focus is the administration putting on those who have committed crimes versus those who have not committed crimes?
Well, the prioritization is those who are public safety threats and national security threats. And let me share it with you, because we just did an operation in Boston, 370 apprehensions. Most of them were criminals, but many were collaterals. Majority of criminals. How come the collaterals? I've said this 1,000 times. Sanctuary cities are going to get exactly what they don't want: more agents in the community and more collateral arrests. Why? Because if we can't get access to the bad guy in the county jail, if they're going to choose to release him in the public, which is just releasing a public safety threat in the public, it's just dumb to begin with, because it puts the public safety at risk, right? But when you release that public safety threat back in the public, that means we got to go find him. When we find him, most likely he's with others. And if they're in the country illegally, they're coming too, because we're not going to tell ICE to ignore the oath that you took to enforce immigration law and walk away from the illegal alien like the last administration does. So if you want to force us in the communities, fine, we'll go. But collateral arrests will increase because we're going to run into illegal aliens while we're in the course of looking for those targets. So again, you want to decrease the collateral arrests, you want to decrease the non-criminals, and let us in the damn jail.
You said many are collateral. Can you put a number to that, a percentage?
I don't have the number. I can tell you the majority were criminals, like criminal histories. And we got to remember, we arrested, I think there were 4 people, convictions for murder, homicide. We arrested child sex predators. We arrested drug traffickers and gun traffickers. We seized guns. We seized drugs. That's the great thing about President Trump, is all the government approach. It's a game changer, because when we do these operations, we find an illegal alien with narcotics. DEA's right there to prosecute the case. We find the guns, ATF's right there to prosecute the gun cases. And of course, ICE will continue to prosecute re-entries after removal. So we get a lot of prosecutions out of these operations. Again, the reason why we're focused on sanctuary cities is because they're the most dangerous places, because they release public safety threats back into the public. We're a cooperating jurisdiction. We don't have that much of a concern or that big a target of criminal aliens walking the streets. President Trump has made a commitment to American people. We're going to decrease illegal alien crime in the city. We're going to concentrate on public safety threats and national security threats. The data proves what we're doing. We're going to keep President Trump's promise to American people. He was given the mandate to do this. Number one issue: secure the border and deal with the illegal alien crime in this country, and that's exactly what we're doing.